Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's information session. Throughout this session, we aim to provide you an information on recently launched the call for training proposal. Our agenda today is structured to address key points of the call, including general introduction of EIT Deep Tech Talent Initiative and how to become a pledger. We value your engagement and participation. And to facilitate this, we have an active Q&A session incorporated throughout this session. Your questions and contributions are highly encouraged as they enrich our discussion and help us ensure clarity on the topics discussed today. Let's embark on this informative journey together with an open exchange of ideas and insights. Thank you for joining us again. And now, uh, our first agenda items today, I would like to give a floor to Natalie Czarnecka, that our EIT Deep Tech Talent Initiative General Manager. Thank you, Natalie. Floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and thank you everyone for being with us. As Sonai said, let's embrace this journey towards our call for training proposals. And I will start with EIT Deep Tech Talent Initiative, what it is, and how you can get involved, because I assume that some of you are not familiar with this initiative, and those of you who are our pledges already, welcome to the session. It's a good idea to repeat certain key points, perhaps you have forgotten them. So EIT Deep Tech Talent Initiative is funded by EIT, which is European body, funded by EIT, European Institute of Technology, and are implemented by a number of EIT institutions, EIT Manufacturing, EIT Digital, EIT Food, EIT Health, EIT Urban Mobility, and EIT Climate Kit. I hope I haven't forgot anything. And our mission is to skill, upskill, and reskill 1 million people in Europe by the end of 2025 to create a steady supply of European deep tech talent. And obviously to do so, can we go to the next slide? Obviously to do so, we need you, our partners, our pledges. So basically, the initiative is building the largest European community of deep tech talent and training, embracing a variety of institutions from technology, from training providers to companies, from universities to NGOs and SMEs, all interested in this talent and training community. And what are we offering to our community is a catalog of courses where you can upload your courses on a platform and showcase into our community, matchmaking with like-minded institutions, organizations in deep tech, like what we are doing today. We have now almost 150 partners, deep tech talent community, people who are actually training in deep tech, EIT Deep Tech Radar, which is the way of visualizing the courses in the communities, and funding opportunities such as this call for training proposals that we have launched on the 3rd of April. Next slide. So as I said, we have now a community of over 105 pledges. I think it's 148, if I'm not mistaken. We have over 100 courses in the platform, and it's a variety of partners. You can see big companies such as Intel and NVIDIA. You can see small NGOs develop or check it us. You can have universities, you have Politecnico de Milano, University of Barcelona. So it's a very wide range of organizations and institutions that all pledge talent, in other words, people whom they train in one of the deep tech areas. And the next slide is what are the benefits for you to become pledges if you are not already? Well, first of all, as I said, it's being part of the journey, being part of this largest hub in Europe in talent and training, participating in upskilling, reskilling your employees or people outside the organization, getting involved in a variety of promotional activities, events that we do very, very actively, and developing collaborative projects with other partners, such as this call for training proposals, for which, as you know, we need a collaboration between at least two partners. So that's the Deep Tech Talent Initiative in a nutshell. And I will give the floor back to Sonai, who will then proceed to explain how the call for proposals are going to work. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. Today, I would love to present call for training proposal key points to you. And I'm Sonai from EIT Digital. And thanks to EIT Deep Tech Talent Initiative team, to that call came to be true. I would like to just first start with just kind of give a glance to what the proposals is and what is the criteria and eligibilities, funding schemes, and closing dates. And the criteria of participating to this call, that you have to become a pledger for the participation, and you have to build a consortium with at least 2 entities. And don't forget that you must have completed the pledge registration, including the signing the pledge document and receive the confirmation until the closing date of the call. And then you cannot have received and funding for Horizon Europe related to the same action. That means that if there is another call related to deep tech talent training, so you cannot apply to this call. For the eligibility, the call is open to all diverse range of entities. Those are including educational institutions, nonprofits, startups, companies, and specifically designed to engage a wide array of organizations committed to pioneering the future of deep technology education and skill development across Europe. All EU member countries and Horizon Europe associated countries are welcome to apply to this call. And the funding for per project is between 100,000 to 150,000 euros. And we are just planning to support up to 20 projects through this call. And the closing date of this call is 20 June 2024. And for the consortium partners, I want to just mention some small details here. All consortium members must be legal entities and meet the above stated criteria. Those involve pledgers who play an active role in advancing project goals. Every member must serve as a pledger and take on the responsibility of acting as the primary beneficiary and representing themselves throughout the project's implementation. And when it comes to call scope, and the call scope is creating new courses, trainings, and skill development programs to train people in deep tech aimed at developing tertiary training. And the target audience are students and faculty at universities, those seeking vocational training, and professionals looking into develop their skills further, and may address target audiences that are often underrepresented in deep tech fields, such as women, people with disadvantaged backgrounds, individuals re-entering the job market, and etc. Or it may address an immediate market or training need that is underdeveloped. And the core objectives are: design, launch groundbreaking courses that fill critical knowledge gaps in the tech sector. Target and mitigate the skills shortages in specific deep tech areas. Significantly increase the desirability and reputation of deep tech training programs with a goal engaging more talents annually. And support development of innovative training methodologies that encourage creativity, problem solving, and critical thinking among participants. And the last objective is ensure that all courses uphold the quality and relevance of deep tech training. And the target deep tech areas for this calls are advanced computing, quantum computing, advanced materials, artificial intelligence applied to specific sectors, cybersecurity, robotics, semiconductors, clean technologies, and immersive technologies. Once you just cover all the requirements for this call, and then now we can move to the application materials and KPIs requirements for this call. And all proposals must be submitted through the submission system, and the proposal must be submitted in English, and the KPI requirement is a minimum 500 learners per project until June 2025. And other KPI requirement is that at least 30% of the learners should be women. Through the call, we are expected to outline the deliverables and your project plan, how you scale up the project in your submission. And in the proposal submission platform, all proposals must be prepared and submitted. And leading pledger should submit the application on behalf of all the partners of its consortium. Submission deadline, it's so crucial here. I would like to just remind you again. You have to just submit your proposal on June 2024 at 5 Central European Summertime. The deadline is firm. Applicants are encouraged to submit the proposals well in advance to avoid any last-minute technical difficulties. Only applications submitted through the designated online link. Once you submit your proposal submission, there will be an evaluation process. And the structured evaluation process comprising several distinct steps, with each step in the process superseding the previous one. In the first case, submitted proposals are assessed by independent external experts. The external experts will have a profile with a background of deep tech talent area, focus of the call and education. Each expert individually evaluates each proposal following the evaluation criteria: excellence, impact, quality and efficiency of the implementation, and strategic fit. And in the second gate, the experts come together and discuss each proposals based on their own individual assessments, following the requirements and guidelines that we just wrote it in the call document. The outcome is a consensus evaluation for each proposal that integrates, supersedes individual assessment as well as recommendation to management committee gate. In the management committee gate that we are calling third gate, analyzes the review gate outcomes and recommendations. The final approval of the proposals will be contingent upon agreement from the Deep Tech Talent Initiative Consortium. This consortium will consist of representatives from EIT Manufacturing, EIT Digital, and EIT Food. The call announcement and implementation. Once we just finish the evaluation, we will just send the information to the applicants. And start date of the projects are in September 2024. The implementation of successful proposals will be structured into 2 phases to optimize development and impact. Phase 1 will be held in September to December 2024, and Phase 2 will be held in January to June 2025. The activities proposed for funding should be planned for a maximum duration of 10 months. For the project implementation, During phase 1, what do you need to do? You need to focus on the creation and validate of your training curriculum. The total funding per project for phase 1 is 40% of the project budget. The projects must meet the requirements below: the creation and validation of training content and submission of training content as an implementation report. In phase 2, the launch and execution of the training programs. And the total funding per project for phase 2 is 60% of the project budget. The projects must meet the requirements below: submitting the course for a quality check process and obtain a positive result, launch and execution of the training programs, applying the curriculum in a practical and impactful ways to cultivate deep tech expertise among participants. Meeting the KPI requirement is at least 500 learners per project, and submission of KPI data report and project evaluation reports. I mentioned about the quality check. As it's written in the call document, you need to also cover the minimum requirements of the training programs. Those are proven deep tech subsector focused training program, total duration of training program at least 2 ECTS credits, equating to 50 to 60 hours or more, equivalent to at least a level 3 European credit system for vocational education and training, or European qualification framework. Issuing verifiable certificate of achievement or qualification from the training provider. Should not contain or use protected intellectual property or copyrighted content and materials not lawfully granted. So basically, also, you need to just cover all the requirements of training programs when you are creating your content for training. And at least, don't forget to apply to be as a pledger. And then once you become a pledger, and then we will love to just see you in our proposal submission system as an applicant. And now I will give floor to Isabelle Vincent. She's from EIT Manufacturing, and then she will just present today and how to become a pledger. Floor is yours, Isabelle.
Thank you very much, Sanai. Nice to meet you, everybody. As Sanai said, I'm Isabelle from EIT Manufacturing, and I'm the Pledge Manager on the Deep Tech Talent Initiative. So Sanai, if you could go on to the next slide, please. I just want to take you through how to become a pledger of the Deep Tech Talent Initiative, which is the first step in applying for the prize. So I'm going to take you on a live demo in a second, but I thought I'd just take you through the steps and just to tell you how easy it is. So first of all, you need to navigate to the Join the Pledge page, which I will show you in a second. You need to download the appropriate pledge agreement, which you will then complete and sign. Then you need to upload this pledge agreement and fill in the online form. And the online form is quite important because there's information on this form that will go on your public facing web page when you do become a pledger. And then you click submit, and that would come through to me, and I will check through your application, make sure that it's relevant to the Deep Tech Talent Initiative and that you are contributing in some way to the 1 million people trained in deep technology. Once I approve you, then you'll be given access to the back end of the platform where you can edit your web page on our platform. You'll also be able to submit courses to the course catalogue, which will be marketed by our marketing team. You will be given access to the community where you can meet other pledgers. So we have a community on a platform called Agora, where we have online events where they can talk to each other, they can post opportunities, and it's quite a nice active space. You will also, when you submit your pledge, will be given access to the Deep Tech Talent Radar, which is a space where we map out different deep tech areas, and you'll be put in the radar in the area that's appropriate for you, depending on which deep tech areas you say you cover when you fill in the online form. And then as a pledger, you will also be given exclusive access to events and special offers for pledgers. So I'm just going to share my screen now and show you how you can join the pledge. So this is our website, eitdeeptechtalent.eu, and right on the front page, you can click Join the Pledge here. This takes you to the Join the Pledge online form, and you can see the 5 steps, are here for you to follow. If you scroll down, you will see the different pledge agreements that you can download and sign. I think a lot of people in this call are likely to be education and training providers, but some of you might also fit into the other categories of enterprises, financing partners, or member states and institutional partners. So download the PDF that is appropriate to you, and you'll see it open here. This is your pledge. This is the thing that you will pledge, you will promise to do to contribute to the 1 million people trained in deep tech. So if you scroll down, there's a yellow section here that you need to fill in. So this is where you put in what your promise will be, how many courses you expect to run, and how many talents you will train by the end of 2025 as part of your pledge. Read the agreement and sign here. You'll see that there's an annex with quite a lot of terms and conditions that you should read. Once you have signed that, then you can go back to the form and you can start filling in. You upload your pledge agreement here, and you can start filling in the name of your organisation and various details about your organisation. And then when you get down to this section here, you choose which kind of organisation profile you are, such as education and training provider, and it will ask you what your deep tech specialisation is, what kind of organisation you are, etc. The deep tech specialisation is important because this is how you will be categorised within our system and in the deep tech radar, which is one of our main marketing tools for our pledges. If you keep scrolling down here, fill in this information. I just want to show you these 2 sections, which are really important. So the brief description of your organisation. So this is going to be on your public facing web page when you become a pledger, and this will be the main window for people to see who you are and what you stand for. So please make sure that this description that you enter here is something that you would want an external audience to read. And the pledge rationale, this is also going to be externally available for people visiting our website. And when I check your pledge, I want to make sure that this is relevant to deep tech, and it's going to be contributing to our commitment to train 1 million people in deep tech by the end of 2025. You will also be asked for targets of people trained over the 3 years of the initiative. So if you want to train 1,000 people, for example, over the 3 years, then you can put your yearly targets in there. They're not legally binding, but it helps us keep track of where we are in the initiative. And that is it. You fill that in, you agree to the privacy policy, and you click submit. And then that will come to us and we will approve you, hopefully, as a pledger. And once you're approved as a pledger, then you can go ahead and apply for the call. I'm just going to stop sharing and I'll hand back over to Sinai. Thank you very much, Sinai.
Thank you, Isabel, for the presentation. Now, I would like to go back to to another our team member, Monica Blojet, and she's from EIT Manufacturing, and then she will just like share with you today the next steps in the call, and then she will just like share the application submission system. Monica, floor is yours.
Thank you, Sinai, and thank you for your presentation. We received some good questions in the chat box. Some of them I haven't even had the moment to get to yet. However, the questions are in regard to example, I'll just address the 2 ECTS and 3 EQVT. The 2 ECTS, so we don't expect you to have a course created and approved through a university system and actually have the credit of 2 ECTS, it's the equivalent. So that means the number of hours, which is approximately 50. And then the 3 QF is the level. So that would be post-secondary education. And then we have questions about Horizon Europe and funding and double funding. So I want to explain this a little bit more in detail. If you've received Horizon Europe funding, we all probably have worked with Horizon Europe funds. It's not as if you received Horizon Europe funds for supporting a startup that you would be ineligible. It means that you would need to have received Horizon Europe funds for the same action. So you were already receiving funding to create training in deep tech, and then you use that again for the same purpose. So we just can't fund the same action 2 times. It doesn't exclude you from ever having received Horizon Europe funds. And then we received some questions about future calls. We have been running a call or a prize annually for the Deep Tech Talent Initiative. It's part of our scope, but we don't know the exact specifics of the call for proposals next year. So we would encourage you to apply this year. And then in terms of the KPI, so the target of 500 learners, 500 participants or trainees, is that they have successfully completed the course. So it's not that they just registered for the course, it's that they've actually been validated and completed the course. So if that helps to summarize. I put some links already in the chat. The most important one where you can find the answers to most questions here today is the call guidelines. So in the, I'll just go ahead and share my screen real quick. On the landing page for the call for proposals, you can find all of this information. So if you navigate to our Deep Tech Talent website, also in the chat box, you can find our upcoming info sessions. For example, we're going to have an info session on April 26th on finding partners for your consortium, and the registration is there. And you have also the links to the application portal, the call for proposals, impact framework. So this is really your main point of reference. And then you can go here to access the application portal, where you have some summary and important deadlines, of which would be June 20th is the most important to submit your proposal by. So with that, I'll pass it back to you, Sunai.
Monica, we are receiving so many questions actually, and some of them were replied. Thank you, by the way, Monica, for your sessions. And as Monica just showed in her screen, that in the dedicated call webpage, if you just scroll down, there is a link, and then that it will go directly to the just application submission link. And over there, also there are related materials. Also, there are link for the events, and you can see all of them. And also there's over there's a submission tab. You can go over and then you can just create your proposal. And I think all presentations are finished, but still we have time. And if you want, you can just I can just read your questions, and then we can reply here. Or if you just kind of feel that the Q&A is not enough for your questions, and you can raise your hand, and then I can give you an access to ask a question. Yeah. Yeah, now you're allowed. Please, Giuseppina. I think I allowed you to, yeah. Please, Giuseppina. Do you hear me? Yeah, you're muted.
Here it is. So I was saying that I am difficulty in accessing the Q&A session. I don't know, for some reason it says try again and doesn't load. So would it be possible to see the questions answered in a separate document? And then I also have a question. Regarding there will be assistance in writing the call, like if in any moment before the submission we want to ask someone to check for like the first initial check that everything is in order, or are there experts that can be contacted to assist us?
Thank you for your question. There will be no pre-check system for your proposal submission. But actually, the submission system is so clear, and over there, just like you can go directly to the tabs, and then without completing the tab, you cannot go to another tab actually. So it's just like, you can think of that like it's a kind of a pre-checking submission. And actually, all the call requirements are clearly stated in the document, so we can use the document as a reference. And of course, we will publish Q&A in our website. So then you can just go there, and then you can see the most asked questions related to the call. I hope I'm clear in that.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. And during this session, Monica is replying, and then my other team members is replying your questions in Q&A session. So Islam, please go ahead. Hello. I think I will allow your microphone. Yeah. Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I do hear you right now.
Yes. Okay. I have two questions. One simple question. In the beginning, I see in this Bledger formula that you have an option to choose which field you could fill in. Do you have a possibility to be filling in more than one field? I mean, like if you in the deep tech, like if you can cover, for example, the AI section and also the quantum computing section.
Yes, it can cover both of them, but there might be leading areas in your submission that maybe you want to specify. But of course, I mean, it can just kind of your training programs can contribute two of them together, but during just your proposal submission, you have to select one of them.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. One other question, if you allow me, like, is there a geographical limitation in the student who will attend the course? Like, if they are actually already enrolled in European university, but they are like an Erasmus call or located in USA, for example, during the period of the education, can they still be accepted as a?
You mean the learners?
Yeah, the learners. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. We didn't specify the learner's country of origin or some other things. So we only need from you that you need to cover the expectation of learners.
Okay, the number, just a number.
Yes,
okay.
The number. And then, of course, the data sheet that you will provide. Yeah. But but those students are located in Europe.
No, they are in European universities, but they study, for example, in a semester in USA or in Australia or something. But they would like to take the course.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Islam. But don't forget that just like, you know, EIT Deep Tech Talent Initiative aims to train.
European, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, I understand. But that's why I was asking if it's
Yeah.
like the sheet I'm filling and it's like
Yeah,
some of the
because
student
yeah.
located in somewhere else, but they are still European student.
Yeah, the call, yeah, okay. That as long as they are European students, yes. Thank you, Islam.
Thank you.
Okay, and the Ikra Zojash Naim. I hope I will pronounce correctly. Yeah, please. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, hello. So first of all, thank you so much for such an informative session. So I actually had two questions right now. One, because like you already answered the question for learners. So I have the question for eligibility criteria, that can you be a separate entity or you need to be from any organization or from a university? Can you apply for this opportunity as just an individual who want to do something like this?
It would need to be a legal entity for us.
Yeah.
Like you are in Europe and you're like living here. I'm like, for example, I'm like a recent graduate from here and I'm living here, and I'm like, as a partner, I may choose my professor from my university here in Germany and then apply for this opportunity. Can I, like, am I eligible for this?
We only accept legal entities, actually. That means that you have to become a pledger. So to be in a pledger,
okay.
actually, there will be also like, you know, kind of there's a requirement to be a legal entity, not this, the individual one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I apply with my university, then I am eligible for this.
Yes.
Okay. And another thing, like I've been doing a project with something like the same with in my thesis, like creating some opportunities for women of third world countries, but they cannot be the learners for this one here, right?
No.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Nihir Yaşar. Yeah, floor is yours.
Oh, I had a very quick question. Is this call any different than last year's EIT Deep Tech Talent Initiative calls, or the conditions are the same?
This call is different from last year because the last year call was on award, and this year is the call for training proposals is to create a new training program for the Deep Tech Talent Initiative platform.
Yeah, and I can jump into, there's some questions about the HEY initiative. So the Higher Education Institutions Initiative, we had a call for proposals for higher education institutions to join. If you are part of a HEY initiative project and you are already awarded money to create a training in deep tech talent, then this would constitute a double funding rule if you're utilizing the same training. And then last year for our Deep Tech Talent Initiative, which is separate, though related to the Higher Education Institutions Initiative, we had a prize. So last year's prize was around rewarding excellence in a completed training. This year it's the creation of a new training, as Sunai stated.
Yeah, I thought that Nihir, just like you were mentioning about the call that we launched last year as an EIT Deep Tech Talent Initiative, because HEY initiative is totally different from this, as Monica stated.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome. And Behruz Sangcholi.
Hi, thank you. I'm very sorry to join the meeting a bit late, so I hope that my question has not been addressed before. I have two questions. The first one is the timeline, September to December and then January to June. Is that a hard timeline or can it be shifted?
That is the timeline that we are expecting from you, actually. It's a kind of, we like to keep it as a hard deadline, actually. I mean, because there are two phases and you need to just like, finish all your preparations in that timeline, actually.
Okay, so it cannot be shifted, basically.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
Not really.
Then are you planning on having the same call next year as well? Is that information available already? Because the timeline this year does not work for me. The call is very interesting, but I will be away the second 6 months, so I will not manage to work on this. So
I can take this one since we did address it before, but no problem. We run a call for proposals every year, but each year it looks a little bit different. So we're not sure as to the exact specifications of the call that we're going to be running in 2025 yet. But we do run calls annually as part of the Deep Tech Talent Initiative.
Okay, thank you. And then the second question is on the 500 KPI that I saw of learners. It's very interesting to develop a course within 3 months and then to run it and expect to have about 500 learners. Does it matter if it's an online course? Because if you want to connect it to a university as one partner, it takes a while for them to introduce this course. But I'm sure you've done your studies and you know that it's feasible to introduce a course and execute it within this short notice.
I can answer this one as well. So this is not to be created, like, it would be great if one day it was to become, validated into the curriculum of a university program. However, this is a training program that is an equivalent of 50 hours, right? So we're not saying that this course needs to be created and approved by a university and ingrained into a department of, robotics. We understand that's not feasible within this timeline. As you know, the Deep Tech Talent may know, we have a deadline as well to train 1 million talents by the end of 2025. So we are interested in the KPI being at least 500, but the training doesn't need to be, inaugurated into a university as part of a master and doctoral program, for example. And we're not only looking at university students here, right? So a big objective is upskilling and reskilling. And with the challenge of our timeline, we encourage you to look at other partners. We ask for a minimum of 2 partners in the consortium. So this could be encouraging you to work with partners who are pledgers in the Deep Tech Talent Initiative community already. Maybe they're working with SMEs, maybe they're working with startups, maybe they're working with VT. So there's a large scope that we ask that you explore rather than just the traditional university course curriculum and traditional student is our suggestion.
Yeah, that would be great, but the 500 makes it much more difficult to go with startups that have very few employees rather than a university that you can target a larger group. And that's a bit of a conflict that I see, that 500 is an amazing KPI to reach, but at the same time, it makes it difficult to reach when it comes to the partners that you think that they can help you with the number. But these are, I guess, issues that we should address.
Yes, yeah. And you're not obliged to have either or, right? So you can have 4 partners in your consortium.
Yeah.
It's a 2 minimum requirement.
Least, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Burçak Otlu. Yeah. Hello, Burçak. think she's not here. Okay.
I want to note real quick too, I'm getting some questions about pledgers, who needs to sign the pledge. If you have a consortium of 3 entities, each of them needs to become a Deep Tech Talent pledger. So everyone in your consortium needs to sign and complete the pledge.
Thank you, Monica. And Tassanis. Yeah. Tassanis, are you there? Hello. I think, okay. Ferhat. Ferhat and hello. I think there are some participants, they left and then they raised their hands. And Rosario Giordano. Hello. It's so weird. It's so there are some people, they raise their hands, but they are not
Can you hear
showing.
me? Can you hear me
Yeah.
now?
Rosario,
Sorry.
yes, yes.
Sorry, I didn't activate my microphone. Anyway, we have a consortium made of 2 companies, 2 entities. One is, let's say, quite a big training provider for a big company here in Italy. Another one is my company that is a small SME. We work in engineering, deep tech, and so on. So we want to know about the co-funding. So we in the call is written that it's possible also to co-fund the project, the EIT, okay, the EIT proposal, the EIT project. So in that case, can we use, for example, as we are here available in Italy, for example, interprofessional fund? That is, we present a project of, let's say, 100,000 euro, okay? And we co-fund it with an interprofessional fund for learners, for, let's say, for already employed professional here in Italy. Is it possible this option, or let's say the co-fund shall be in another way, or with other, let's say, funding?
We encourage, I mean, if you want to use the co-funding,
yeah,
of course it's encouraged, but we are not asking you how to use it and then, you know, what is the rate of co-funding or something. We are not asking you. No, during the submission, only during the submission, all the costs are related to the funding that we are planning to promote. And so, and then you will just, like, you know, during the submission only you will explain, but we are not asking the funding schemes from you actually.
Okay, no,
About your
okay. No, that was my concern in terms of, do we have to specify, for example, if we ask 100,000, but the project, our costs are, let's say, 300,000. The extra 200,000 are covered by another funding, let's say the interprofessional funding available in Italy. Okay, that is first questions.
Yeah, you don't need to just like write those in your proposal submission. No.
Okay, thanks a lot. This is important for us because we can leverage with other opportunities that we have here in Italy. So another question is about the learners. Okay, because of the fact that this training provider that is part of our consortium has, let's say, quite a big, a broad range of learners already occupied in a big company. Can we use them to reskill or to upskill as learners to be used into the project, or do we need only unemployed persons or people looking for
No, you can just say, of course. I mean, those are learners as well.
those are learners. Okay, so already occupied professionals can be used.
Yeah, just like don't I mean we are just like, you know, kind of you love to see the target audience, like underrepresented groups. But of course, I mean, the kind of the learners that you just like define, of course, they are just like, you know, kind of they are gonna be learners.
Okay. So there is no limitation in this,
No.
because our concern is that we have, let's say, quite
No.
a big target audience made of already occupied persons,
Yeah.
composite women, so on. So it's very interesting business case. So
Yeah.
okay, we can use them. Another just questions in the end is, can we use a learning management system in order to, let's say, to make available the courses, like we prepare the courses like in online forms, in presence, and so on. For example, for those on online forms, do we need to use your, is there a learning management system based like in Moodle or other system, or can we use and develop our for this specific initiative?
Isabel?
Because usually anytime we, for example,
yeah.
I think I can answer that. So you can use any learning system that you use with as a training provider, because you are
okay.
providing this training.
Yes, because we already use this kind of,
Yes.
because we already use learning management system for our training provider. So we can use the legacy one. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I think
so,
you're all clear, right?
No, this is all the questions. Okay. Thanks a lot for your availability.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the next is Yvonne Ben-Sassoon. Yeah.
Yes, hello. Thank you very much for this presentation. My question is, one, I wrote in the chat, at a university, does the pledge need to be signed at the presidency level, or deans, lab managers are also capable to sign it? Was going to be one question. The other one, you want me to just tell the questions and then wait for the answer? So the second question I had...
I can answer the first one.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, so it just needs to be somebody that's legally responsible within your organisation. So it's difficult for us to say in each organisation who that appropriate person would be. So you'll have to ask within your organisation who can legally sign for you.
I know, yes, probably it's at the president level, but because we are pledging a number of trainings and learners to be covered, and you know, I can be extended realities, and another division might have I don't know, artificial intelligence. So the kind of in big institutions, I guess we need to do some sort of coordination while we pledge.
Yeah, we have some universities signing up per department, and some sign up as the whole university. So it really depends on the structure of your university, I'm afraid.
Okay, thank you. As to the consortium, it can be at least 2 pledgers, partners. Usually there is like this condition of at least two different EU countries. I understand that there isn't such a condition here. Can be from the same country. Yes, great.
Yes, same country. We don't have the regional specification requirement that some schools have.
And there's been some mentioning about training EU students. But I guess we mean in the broad sense, like Horizon associated countries like Turkey, for example, would be considered learners within the 500 KPI.
Yes. Yeah.
Horizon associated countries can be counted, of course.
Thank you very much. That would be all my questions.
Yeah, and then I want to remind that, like, you know, kind of this session will be over in 2 minutes. So, and then I just like, we have another questions also, like 16 people are in the queue, and we have to just like stop the session in 2 minutes actually, and then all questions that you have, you can write to our email address, and also we will just like post all asked questions in our dedicated website, and then you will just like see over there. And thank you for participating to this session today with us. I hope we covered all your answers today here. But we will also just kind of to see here today, and then I will give a last sentence to Natalie, our manager. And thank you for participating to session today. Natalie?
Thank you. Yes, thank you, everyone, and thank you for active participation. Thank you for all the questions. We realized we could not answer all of them because there were quite a few, but so first of all, we will provide recordings and slides of this session. Second, we will go through the questions that were asked, group them into most frequently asked questions and provide answers on our website. Also, with respect to pledgers, how to become pledgers, how to put courses in a catalog, I really encourage you to look at our website because we already have quite a lot of questions answered. You know, information is there, and we're trying to listen to our partners, to our prospective partners, to understand what the questions they want to ask. So look at our website, look at the pledge mechanism, because I think if there is like one key takeaway, in order to apply for this call, you must be pledgers. This is one of the values we are offering to our community of partners pledgers. And that's the first thing if you think about the call, you need to do. And then again, thanks again for the team also who provided this presentation. And as you know, we have 2 more sessions which are scheduled. The next one, and Sana, you will correct me if I'm wrong, is on the 26th of April, which will be matchmaking session. If some of you want to look for partners, we are going to facilitate it. It's also be at 2:30 in the afternoon. And then the last session will be in June. So I don't remember the date. And
June 10th.
The 10th of June, and we will basically answer the most recurrent questions for those who are already preparing their applications. So lots of information. You can also ask information about pledge process, about the price, for quality check for those who are interested in displaying the courses on the platform. And again, consult our website, reach out to us with more questions. And we are really very excited to launch this call to target underrepresented areas. And if the number of 500 people seems large to you, we are aiming for 1 million. So that's where we're going, and we don't have time to lose. So the time is running out. Europe must be competitive, and we are here to help, with your help, to do so. Thank you once again, and be in touch.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for everyone. So the registrations are open for other sessions. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.